In this video, let's talk about the differences between the original novel of The Bad Kids, 隐秘的角落, and the drama adaptation. Hi, you're watching Avenue X, where a junkie on good storytelling shares her thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. So, let's continue the marathon of getting through so much stuff regarding the drama 隐秘的角落. In my previous video, I talked about the details that this drama has laid in, some of them very interesting, up to your own interpretation. Today, I want to go through all the essential differences between the original book and the drama adaptation. First, a general impression. The original novel is much darker. All the characters are like the upgraded nasty version compared to the drama version. The drama's overall depiction of all those people still leaves space for some kind of trust in the fundamental good part of humanity, whereas the novel just has everybody pretty much bad in their own ways. The fact is, if they filmed it exactly like the original novel, first, it would not pass censorship. The second thing is, it kind of would also turn out to be too dark. Why do I want to watch something that bad? You know, like, do I not have enough shitty stuff happening in 2020? I'm actually appreciative the fact that they've lightened the original novel up that much, and also giving everyone a chance, every role a chance of being more three-dimensional, to a degree more redeemable. So now let's get into the details about all the essential differences. First, there is a very big character setting change of a essential character that can get super confusing. Regarding the role Yan Liang in the drama, the older kid, and the role in the book named Ding Hao. So this role's original name in the book is Ding Hao. The reason that they've changed him to Yan Liang is because iQIYI is kind of trying to do a universe, a crime story universe that all have a role named Yan Liang as a through-line character. In Burning Eyes, this role is played by Qin Hao, so obviously it gets people a little bit confused now that in The Bad Kids, Qin Hao is still here, but he plays Zhang Dongsheng. And in the upcoming 长夜难明, The Long Night, this role is going to be played by Liao Fan. So they've done this change that makes it a little bit confusing when you're reading the novel and trying to fit the names onto different people. So the Yan Liang that you read in the novel is an old man who is already kind of at the age of retirement. He's a consultant for the police. He's not a police anymore, but he teaches mathematics at a university. And he is the teacher of Zhang Dongsheng when he was in university as a math teacher. He is also a distant relative to Zhang Dongsheng's wife, Xu Jing. That's the book setting. This role is named Yan Liang. He's an older man. So in the drama's version, he's kind of Lao Chen, played by Wang Jingchun, the old policeman's role. Although in the drama's version, due to this change, they've related Lao Chen to the drama young kid Yan Liang. Whereas in the book, there's no crossover between Ding Hao and the old Yan Liang. Are you getting confused already? So in the book, Ding Hao is in the drama Yan Liang. The book Yan Liang is the drama Lao Chen. Also, the role Wang Li, who is the brother of Wang Yao, does not exist in the original novel. Other people pretty much exist the same way, although there is no mentioning of Zhu Chaoyang's mother's lover, the chief, at where she works. Pretty much everybody else's character setup is the same between the drama version and the book version. So let's start with Qin Hao's role, the murderer, Zhang Dongsheng. In the book, he does not need the toupee. It's a totally invented thing in the drama, because while they were doing this character, they realized they need something specific, immediately memorable, and kind of add an extra layer of information. So they came up with this idea that the role is going bald. Qin Hao was so happy about that. He was like, cool, I'm excited, like, let's do it. So in the drama, when you see him putting on the toupee on his head, the bald head is actually prosthetics. He has a full head of hair. That's a really nice detail the drama added in, because drama is a visual medium, it's different from text. Whether you write him going bald or not in the book may not give you that much of an impression, but when you see it on screen, when you see the actor play it, and the way he looked at the mirror and you see it without hair, it's like, oh, they've done a really good job adding that little bit information onto this role. The book, Zhang Dongsheng killed his in-laws and his wife pretty much in the same way as you see in the drama. But he didn't kill Zhu Chaoyang's father and father's current wife the same way as you see it in the drama. In the drama, he's responsible for killing all those people, whereas in the book, it is very different. But I'm gonna leave it to the point where I talk about Zhu Chaoyang. That's also related to the ending of Zhang Dongsheng. Zhang Dongsheng in the book died in a very different way. Now let's talk about the criminal mastermind of the original book, the bad kid Zhu Chaoyang. In the book, he's a much colder person by the time the story starts, whereas in the drama, you do see him starting as a very quiet, maybe a little bit not well developed psychologically mental department kid, but all in all, a pretty good kid. Till the end of the drama, you do see him at the point of him questioning himself. Can I still be a good person? Whereas in the book, right from the beginning, he's almost already kind of a bitter, very bitter kid. He refers to the current wife of his father's and also his half-sister as big bitch and small bitch. Throughout this novel, you can read him as a very calculative, very intelligent, but selfish person. The three essential differences between the book version and the drama version of Zhu Chaoyang. First, in the book, it's clearly stated he is the one who pushed Zhu Jingjing out of the window and killing her. In the drama's version, up to interpretation, we watch the last episode whether he is standing there watching her hanging on the protruding piece of that building and not helping her so that she eventually fell to her death, or whether it was him pushing her over. It's not clear. But still, you know that he has something to do with the death. The second essential difference is in the book, Zhu Chaoyang planned and forced Zhang Dongsheng to carry out his plan of murdering his own father and his current wife Wang Yao. He also made Pu Pu and Ding Hao / the drama version of Yan Liang go with Zhang Dongsheng to help him committing the murder of killing these two adults, while he is taking a class at school and having a perfect alibi. So this kid is really scary. Even Zhang Dongsheng got quite scared. In the story's version, the father is even worse than what you see in the drama. He would call Zhu Chaoyang the son of a friend in front of Wang Yao and Zhu Jingjing. So Zhu Jingjing is not even consciously aware that this is actually her biological brother. This is actually based on the writer Zi Jingchen's own experience. When he was growing up, his biological father had a different woman already married, and he would not acknowledge this as his biological son. That's really terrible. But that's one of the major reasons why Zhu Chaoyang eventually decided to murder his own father, because he realized the father just doesn't really care about him at all. And by murdering him and his wife, he is going to inherit all the money that his father has. In the drama, clearly, they gave all that blame to Zhang Dongsheng. I would really prefer the drama's version. If they did the book version, it's just too dark. I'm not sure if I want to watch that. Also, there's an extra crazy thing in the book about Zhu Chaoyang, showing us that he is just a psycho in the making. He planned a way to exonerate himself. He knows eventually the whole thing is gonna blow up and he's gonna murder the father and the wife. So he had a diary written within a month time that actually spans a time of half a year. So it started in December the year before till the end of summer, which is totally written within 1 month, in which he itemed all the time of essential encounters of people, and in his way of writing, manipulating the storytelling to blame all the bad things, all the bad decisions that has happened, such as threatening the murderer with money, completely on Pu Pu and Ding Hao. Whereas in reality, he is responsible for these things. And that diary eventually ended up being a kind of evidence to exonerate him. But the book Yan Liang, the older policeman, the math teacher, eventually discovered the truth because he got the ink tested and realized it's written within 1 month. It's not something that actually started half a year ago. And the novel ends with him wavering between whether he should tell this to the policeman. In the drama, you do see him writing a diary. You also see him nosebleed on a page and then tearing it out. So it kind of is suggesting there is a diary going on, but it never got used in the same way as it has been used in the novel version. Because they've changed a lot of the essential plot of this storytelling, so the diary doesn't work quite as importantly as the book version, but they still also hinted at the existence of it. So that is like a really big difference, and personally I much prefer the drama version of Zhu Chaoyang. Then let's talk about Ding Hao and Pu Pu because they're pretty much linked together. In the book version first, all three kids are at similar age, maybe 1 or 2 years difference, whereas in the drama you do see Pu Pu is much younger. And also in the book, Pu Pu is liking Zhu Chaoyang quite a lot. They're kind of like the teenager couple that kind of would have happened but didn't at the end. Thank heavens it does not exist in the drama's version. In the book version, both Yan Liang and Pu Pu have a really terrible childhood. Both of their parents are dead already in the book version, as compared to the drama version where Yan Liang's father is still alive. Also, both of their parents died by death penalty because they committed horrible crimes. Yeah, that is already making the background of all the roles that much darker. Yan Liang / the book version, Ding Hao's father found out that his wife is cheating, so he forced the wife to pretend to be a pregnant woman, go on the street and pretending to need aid, and got a young girl helping her and got back to their flat, and the man raped the young girl and the wife and husband murdered the woman together. Imagine that. It's actually a real case that happened in China, so the couple got death penalty and their child becomes an orphan. Whereas Pu Pu's parents also had something like crazy happening. The father realized the mother is cheating and doubted whether the son that they have is really his biological son, so he murdered the wife and his son and got death penalty. But in Pu Pu's words, the father loved her very much and he's not a person who would kill the mother and the son, so she believes he is wronged. He did not commit the murder, but the fact is both of them lost their parents and they're in orphanage. And the reason Pu Pu escaped with Ding Hao / drama Yan Liang is because they've got a new principal at this orphanage who sexually abuses Pu Pu in very disgusting way. Don't want to mention the details, but that's the reason they have to run from it. So there is no brother having leukemia plot and needing 300k for the money thing. It does not exist. And they want the money because they have to leave the orphanage and they have to support themselves until they become adults because they can't really do any jobs as kids. So that's the version in the original book. I think that makes a lot of more sense, although it's just so dark. Yeah, definitely not gonna pass censorship. Apart from the age difference about Pu Pu between the book and the drama, she also doesn't have asthma in the book. She has irritable bowel syndrome. After she eats stuff, she starts to fart a lot. That's why people joke and call her Pu Pu, which sound like farting. Also in the book, Pu Pu is very, very cold-hearted and she speaks with very nasty languages, treated so badly by reality that she has built up a very strong big armor surrounding her, pretending to not care, which is totally different from what you see in the drama. And regarding the ending of these two kids in the book version, they both died. In the drama, kind of alive, but yeah, open to interpretation. What happened in the book is after everything got finished and wrapped up, Zhu Chaoyang's father and his current wife are dead, so that Zhu Chaoyang becomes the sole heir of all the fortune. The three kids and Zhang Dongsheng came together to celebrate it, so they promised they're never gonna tell on Zhang Dongsheng's secret, and also not asking him for the money anymore because now Zhu Chaoyang is like really rich. But at the same time, Zhang Dongsheng is planning to murder them all because he would not let the three kids who have his biggest secret still be alive. He invited the kids to his place and had a cake out and then offered them coke to drink. When he actually poisoned the drink, Pu Pu and Ding Hao / Yan Liang, the drama version, drank the coke and got poisoned. Whereas Zhu Chaoyang also took a sip, but he actually spilled it out onto a ball of tissue that he has hidden in his palm and then pretend he needs to go to the toilet and throw it away. When he got out of the toilet, he pretended he also had a reaction to fool Zhang Dongsheng into thinking that all three kids are poisoned and dead. When Zhang Dongsheng believed they're all dead, he grabbed a knife that Zhang Dongsheng has hidden and then stabbed Zhang Dongsheng and killed him. Then he rearranged the crime scene, cut himself to show that he had a fight with Zhang Dongsheng, and then put the knife into Ding Hao / Yan Liang's hand to give the police the story version where Zhang Dongsheng poisoned them all and Ding Hao tried to fight back and killed Zhang Dongsheng, and he also got injured in the process. The reason he didn't get poisoned is because he didn't actually drink it. He has this pamphlet at home that he got somewhere that has this secret of how to grow tall, because he's actually very short compared to his same age kids. And one of the bullet points in that pamphlet is do not drink carbonated drink. And the police did find that pamphlet, which has been read many times. So it looks like he has gone through it many times. Also, at the same time, they discovered the diary. So Zhu Chaoyang really is a mastermind. He planned everything. Are you scared now? Also, there are small differences between the roles of the mother. In the book, the mother has very little to do with the main plot line. And she's not a control freak, as you see in the drama version. And in the drama version, they gave much more weight, much more plot, and I think a very successful adaptation and change of the mother's role played by Liu Ling. So these are the essential differences between the book and the drama. What do you think? Do you prefer the book version of the story, or do you think the drama version is more palatable? I would love the drama version to still get a little bit more sharp, at least be more frank about some of the ending of the roles than the version that you see right now, but I do understand. This is probably as far as they could push it, but I would also support the argument. It is a very successful adaptation, and the decision they've made to lighten up a lot of the plot and character setup is actually a good thing to do. As it stands today, the drama is already pretty dark and creepy at times. If they've gone like full length, and if they were allowed to make the exact version as written in the original novel, I'm not sure I can actually stomach it. And I probably would not really love any of the roles. I would not feel that much sympathy because they're all just so bad in the original book. I'm not saying this type of people do not exist in the world. I do believe there are many. I'm also not saying there isn't an opportunity for that many bad people to come together. But dramas are still artistic interpretations of reality. They do not have to 100% follow reality. And for your viewing pleasure and a good balance of sweet and salty, positive and negative, I think the drama has done a really good job. At least it makes me want to continue watching it, not hate all the characters as I would hate them when I read the novel, and still get a little bit good thing out of it eventually. So I stand that I think this is a really successful adaptation. It's definitely the best I've seen in 2020 in Chinese dramaland, probably at least one of the best for a long time to come. And I so highly appreciate all the work that this crew has put into it. All the actors, the director, producer, music people, everybody. It's a brilliant work and it's so worth your time. And I'm pretty sure by this point, if you've gone through this video, you have already watched it and appreciate what this drama has offered. And unbelievably, I've already spent over 3 hours and a half trying to make these two videos today. You will not believe how many weird things have happened during the filming of this thing for myself. And thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching. And may we all be safe and stay away from bad kids.